Hi, my name is Drew Gerber with Harper Turf Equipment. We wanted to put together a special video for a lot of you operators out there. We understand that a self-propelled sweeper is something that a lot of people aren't very confident with or know how to operate. And so through this short video, we want to give you some tips and tricks for the initial startup of your sweeper and hoping to make you more productive and efficient and how to operate it safely. One of the first things that we recommend is that you always look through the operator's manual. Read it, understand it. So that goes through a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today. But we understand that some of you guys like to watch videos, and so we want to make it simple for everybody. But in case you're a reader, the operator's manual is located right here. So pick it up, read it. That'll give you a lot of details about the operation of the unit. From a very high level, we have a 4-wheel drive and a 2-wheel drive hawk. That doesn't really change anything you do operationally. All the controls are going to be the same for you. The other thing that I want to point out is that it's all hydrostatically driven. What that means is that for you to see and realize the best performance, whether it's climbing a hill, overall speed, pickup performance, the unit needs to be operated at full throttle all the time. Now I want to take a minute, step into the operator's seat to help give you guys confidence out there what all the different controls mean, what they do, and how they function. The hawk can be a little bit cold-blooded, so when you get into those cooler months, it's important that you roll the key backwards, which turns the glow plugs on. This warms up that first little bit of fuel, ensuring that it starts a little bit easier for you. Right beside the key, you're going to notice that there's a toggle switch that says high and low. Basically, that is a high gear and low gear switch. We always recommend that you do your sweeping in low gear, and then whenever you're full or you're just going to whatever site it is that you're going to clean up, then you transport it in high. A common thing that we get from people is that if they feel like there's a lack of power, it's typically either because they're trying to sweep and navigate hills in high, or that they actually don't have the throttle all the way fully engaged, because this is a hydrostatic unit. So to realize that torque, we need all that hydraulic flow, which is going to require you to run the machine at full RPMs. Right below the high-low switch is a parking brake. Whenever you leave the operator station, make sure that you ensure that the parking brake is applied. The next button that you see up here is the brush engagement button. This toggle switch turns on the brush and paddle system. We recommend initiating this, starting your brush and paddle at a low idle. Once you get it started, then full throttle whenever you're going to actually pick up material. Next, you'll see that we have a series of 3 levers. These levers control the deck, raise and lower, hopper raise and lower, and door open and close. Pull back on the handles to raise your deck, pull back on the next handle to raise your hopper, pull back on the third handle, and that opens your door. The reverse then is true. The one thing that you want to ensure you do with the deck is that whenever you're pushing the lever forward, lowering the deck, you want to hold that for a second past when the deck is lowered. What that is doing is allowing your deck to float by fully extending that cylinder. While we're on this side, I want to point out how we go about changing your brush height. The brush height needs to be changed depending on the height of cut of the grass that you're on, the material that you're picking up, and especially if you make a transition to hard surface. So one place that we always recommend to start at is that basically you have 1 inch of engagement with the tip of that brush on the height of cut or the hard surface that you're operating at. What that enables you to do is get a little bit of flicking of that brush that allows you to pick that material up. On each side of the deck, we have a pin, and they can be adjusted in 1/4 inch increments. The one thing you got to make sure is that you adjust both sides evenly, because you want your deck running level side to side. The second thing I want to point out about it is that we always recommend that you start high and work your way down until you see the pickup performance that you're getting. It seems counterintuitive, but you can actually experience decreased pickup performance if you set your brush too aggressively. So as a reminder, set it high and work down until you get the pickup performance that you're after. One other point that I want to emphasize about the deck is that on the front side, we have anti-scalp wheels. Those anti-scalp wheels are to help in really hilly terrain or steep undulations to help pick that deck up so it doesn't actually engage the turf. With that in mind though, they can be adjusted based upon the material you're picking up. One of the things that I've seen is whenever you're wanting to pick up large quantities of leaves, that it can be actually helpful to raise them into the highest position or just physically remove them because they can actually start to push material forward. I want to talk to you about a few different materials that are common to pick up with sweepers and vacs and talk about what we've learned and some of the limitations that we've experienced. All sweepers and vacs that I'm aware of struggle somewhat whenever you talk about picking up wet material. Aeration cores, verticut thatch, what we've learned over the past year of experience is that if we can let that material dry for about an hour before we go out and pick it up, you're going to be much more efficient. And you're also going to save yourself quite a bit of cleanup time because it's not going to cake then on the inside of the machine. One of the things that you're really going to appreciate about this machine is the amount of material it can pick up. During this time of year, leaf material is going to be an issue, and that's what people want to clean up, right? And so we have a few tricks that we've learned over this past year, and we want to help you be more successful in that process. So if leaves are falling from the trees, that also means twigs, sticks, branches, things like that will be falling as well. In our operator's manual, we state that if it's bigger than an inch in diameter, we really don't want that going through the machine. And so what we've done is included a door on the opposite side that allows you to throw that bigger material just into the hopper. The other thing we found is that people love to blow leaves, right? They love to blow leaves and make big piles. Actually, that does not make us more efficient when you have a self-propelled sweeper. Now, if you're hand picking up, absolutely. But for a self-propelled sweeper, leave that pile a little bit thinner because what's going to happen is that you'll end up having to go over that area multiple times, multiple passes, and take it off in strips. Where if you have a windrow that's less than 6 inches tall, you're going to be able to get that all cleaned up and picked up in a single pass. In the operator station, we talked about where the levers are to control your high lift dump. So this unit is capable of dumping into containers at about 6 feet tall. The great thing about this unit is that when you raise the hopper, you can see directly to whatever it is that you're backing up to. So whether it's a dumpster or a trailer, you can see exactly where you are in relation to it, giving you lots of confidence that you're not going to run into anything. As you open the hopper door, there's going to be a lot of material that comes out, but you're also going to see a little bit of material hang up on that door. So we always recommend bouncing that door a couple times, and that's going to allow all that material to clean out and allow a clean closure at the end of the day. The next thing I want to talk about are a few of the accessories that we see here. You'll see on this unit that we have before we have a curb brush, we have a work light kit, we have a canopy, and we have a beacon light kit. A lot of those switches are then controlled right here at the operator's station. And so as you look over here, over your right shoulder, you will see a light emblem. That light emblem is for your work lights. That turns on your work lights and allows you to see. The second button down shows a flashing beacon. That is for the beacon, which is on top of your canopy here. The third button then is for your curb brush. This turns your curb brush on and off. The one thing about the curb brush is that you want to make sure that it's set right. And so what we always recommend you do is that with the curb brush in a lowered position, we want to see about 2 inches of gap on the back side of the curb brush. What that means to you, I guess, is that it's going to ensure that you're not prematurely wearing your brush out, because if you have a brush laying flat, it's going to be rubbing 100% of the time. If you have it too steep, it is going to be too much engagement on that front side. And our testing, about 2 inches on the back side, just ensures that you are going to clean, but not prematurely wear your brush out. Thanks for joining us today. For any more information, details, specs, things like that, check us out at harperturfequipment.com, or you can give us a follow on Twitter at harperturf.